I got some tea to spill, so if you're ready to chill, take a Jill pill.
Hey guys, welcome to Take a Jill Pill, episode 1. Here we go. Do you like my jingle? I don't know if it's right, but I felt like I needed a jingle to start. Like, I write jingles for other podcasts, so I felt like if I didn't have my own, that would be weird. But I don't know if that's the right vibe. It's a little supposed to be kind of cheesy, so I'm already over-explaining myself, and it's like the first, minute of my podcast. So welcome. All right, I got myself a little whiskey drink. It's only 2:30 in the afternoon right now when I'm recording this, and I don't usually drink that early, but my voice has been struggling and I'm like a little nervous. Like, I shouldn't tell you that, but I'm a little nervous because it's like my first episode. I want it to be good. So anyway, thank you for being here. It's Take a Jill Pill, which I have to credit my friends Hannah and Jason for naming this podcast. A bunch of you submitted a bunch of different names. And this one it was just when I heard it, it was like, yes. And they don't know each other, but they submitted this at almost the same time. So I'm crediting both of them. So thank you. And eventually they both will be on the podcast. So we'll talk more about how this came to be. I know you're dying to know. But also, I didn't just pick this title. I put it up for a vote on Instagram, and Take a Jill Pill did win the title competition. Like, honestly, hundreds of you guys voted, which blew my mind, first of all. But Take a Jill Pill did fair and square win that vote. Let me just, while we're at it, I'll just tell you the other titles, because they were really good, and I do want to tie them into the podcast. So here were the top 4 titles that you guys voted on. The Tea with Jill P, which I did tie the T into the jingle, in case you didn't notice. The next one, No, really, it's going to be fine. I did that as an option because I say that a lot. Like, no, really, it's going to be fine. It's how I just like temper any situation that feels a little aggressive. I'm like, no, it's going to be fine. So that was an option. And then second place, a lot of people voted for this one. Sorry, I'm late. I didn't want to come. I have a coffee mug that says that. And it definitely represents like the introvert in me. But I do actually like people. Like, I do actually like having fun and hanging out with people. And sometimes when I say things like, I love when people cancel plans and all that, I didn't want to come, then I don't want people to totally get the wrong idea, like that I don't ever want to hang out or Also, the only other reason I didn't want to use sorry, I'm late, I didn't want to come is partly I am never late. Like, I'm not a late person. If you know me, I'm like very prompt and on time. That's like, and I'm kind of annoyingly so. So it just didn't totally ring true, but I do love it. It does resonate. And I'm definitely going to have an episode titled that because it is great. But at the end of the day, guys, Take a Jill Pill rose to the top. You guys loved it. I loved it. So we're here. We're doing it. I feel like this podcast is sort of it's been a long time coming that I really wanted to do another podcast, but it's come together rather quickly, honestly, because I've thrown out on Instagram that I wanted to do it. And then you guys really came through with names and topics and all sorts of things. So thank you. This is all of our podcast, okay? And what I want you to be able to do is like, just throw this podcast on and just chill out, listen, take a Jill Pill. You know what I mean? Like, it means what it means. Just relax and hang out with me. Thanks for hanging out with me, by the way. I like being friends with all of you. All right, I figured on this first episode, before I just start talking about wacko topics like conspiracies or cults or, I don't know, Trader Joe's cashiers, I feel like I should introduce myself a little bit to you as the listener. I don't know to what extent you know me. Like, you might have gone to school with me. You might know me from music stuff. You might have just found this randomly. So I feel like on some level, I should introduce myself. I will tell you this. You know that meme that's like, an introvert's nightmare? It's like, let's go around the room and say one fun fact about ourselves. That's my nightmare. I hate it. I'm a true introvert. I don't really like talking about myself, but I did just start a podcast. So I feel like I owe that to you. So I'll give you a quick overview and then we can cut to the chase and get to the good stuff, okay? First of all, my name is Jill. Hello, in case you didn't catch that. It's not Jillian or anything else crazy like that. It's just Jill. It's just me. I live in New Hampshire. I'm from New England. I'm a big, born and raised New Englander at heart. Like Dunkin' Donuts, Go Pats, Wicked Pissa, all the things. That's me. But I've spent most of my adult life living other places and touring the world as a musician. So I lived in LA, I lived in Nashville for a long time, and I was touring a lot of that time too. So I'm kind of a nomad, I guess, even though I have deep roots. I love travel. I love the world. I love telling crazy stories about my times in other places. So we'll get to some of those. But yeah, most of my life and career has been in the music industry and in like creative entrepreneurship. So I'm a songwriter, singer, musician, producer. Also, I had a podcast called Girls Just Pod to Have Fun. If you know me from there, cheers, hey. But I just love and have a passion for like all things creative. So I still do my own music and my own writing and all that stuff, but I also now have a creative agency and I come alongside other authors and artists and podcasters and help them achieve their creative dreams, because I feel very fortunate that I've had a lot of great experiences building businesses and writing and touring and all of that stuff. And when you're in that, you really need support and just someone beside you to be like, hey, here's an idea. There's an idea. It's just like really fun to help other people too. So that's what I'm doing now. And the reason I'm back in New Hampshire and not doing that in Nashville, where I spent most of my life and career so far, is because all my family is still in New Hampshire. And a few years ago, my mom was diagnosed with dementia. And I knew what that journey was going to be, or I shouldn't say I knew. I had an idea of what that journey would be. And I really wanted to be around her and my dad and my family as we navigated that. I knew they would need the help. And I wanted to get, honestly, whatever time I could with my mom before she really wasn't the version of herself that I always knew, which is where I'm at now. So my mom is in a nursing home now, and I'm not going to go on a real downer here, but it's part of my story. And it's something that people ask me about a lot, because I know a lot of people who are listening are in this kind of age range that I am, or are starting to deal with aging parents. And I know that dementia is a big issue for a lot of people. And honestly, people ask me a lot of questions about it. So I have been a caretaker for her for the last couple of years, and I'll splice that in sometimes to this, but it's really dark, and I use humor to kind of deal with some of that darkness. So I never mean to make light of any of this, but I will share some of the story about my mom and her aging journey and all of that how that has affected my career and my life, and hopefully be a resource to anyone who might be dealing with that. You always feel free to reach out to me. But anyway, we're getting back to the fun stuff here. Okay, that's a little bit about me. I'm sure I will tell you more, but that should give you a good starting point. All right, let's go. So the other day, I was at the store. I just wonder if anyone feels like this. I was getting a birthday card for someone, and I really care about birthday cards. I want them to be funny. Like, humor is very important to me. So especially if I'm giving it to someone who also has a good sense of humor, I want this card to knock it out of the park. And I don't think there are a lot of really great greeting cards anymore. It's hard to find one that's funny still, because it's like if it has a donkey on it, it's going to be like, don't be an ass for your birthday, or whatever. And it's like, no, I know that's coming, or like a cat or something. I want it to be unique. I want it to be funny. And so I spend a lot of time looking for the right card. So I got this card. I finally settled on one. I will go to like multiple stores. I'm like that person who will go to multiple stores to find the right card for the right person. So I finally found the one I wanted. I go up to the register, and now I do prefer self-checkout anywhere, because interactions at cash registers almost always are a little uncomfortable. Again, I am an introvert. I also have a little bit of Asperger's. So social interactions can sometimes be a little awkward, but cashiers tend to make them worse, So I put my card up on the scanner, and the lady proceeds, and they do this every time. She picks up the card and is like reading it to judge it, to see if it's funny enough. That's how I feel. And I'm like, now I feel like you're now judging me. Like, my humor is at stake. Like, do you think I'm funny? Do you think this card is funny? And she kind of like opens it and reads the punchline, is like, and for one thing, I shouldn't care, right? But I feel like that's personal to do. Like if I worked at a cash register, I cannot imagine someone comes through with a greeting card and I open it to like read the punchline. Also, what if it's a sympathy card? What if it's like, oh, I'm sorry for your loss. Like, are you going to read that one? Because it just feels a little personal. A greeting card to me is a very personal item. And it's between me and the person that I'm giving it to. I also hate when you give someone a card at a party or something and then they read it out loud, especially your own note. Oh my gosh, that is my note to you. Do not read that out loud. I'm so embarrassed just even talking about this. Anyway, I just find that some of the most awkward and uncomfortable and difficult interactions I have in my life are not with people I love, my friends, my family. It's with like cashiers. What does that say about me? I don't know. I mean, usually I'm talking about Trader Joe's cashiers because they're a next level. They are a next level type of human. There has to be something that they are taught, like they have to be trained. I need someone from Trader Joe's to come on here and talk to me a little bit about what the training is like to be a cashier. Is that the right term I'm using, cashier? All of a sudden I'm like, is that like saying stewardess instead of flight attendant, or a hairdresser instead of stylist? I don't know. If I'm using the wrong term, I'm sorry if I'm being politically incorrect. But I just want to know what the training's like there, because you guys know, if you know me at all, Trader Joe's is a big topic for me. It's a big line item in my life. I find it to be a subculture that is just fascinating. Also, I love their stuff there. I love their food at Trader Joe's. Not their cards so much. They don't have great greeting cards. They have they're like good artistic cards, but they're not funny. Like I've never seen a funny card at Trader Joe's, and there's so much humor to be had there. Anyway, I promise you this is not a Trader Joe's podcast, even though I do talk about it a lot. But I will say, when I have a guest on here, my plan is to ask every guest 2 questions. Now, we'll talk about other things, but I'm going to ask the same 2 questions to every guest. And these are the 2 questions. Number 1, what is your favorite Trader Joe's snack? Because I'm always open to learning more, to hearing about things I haven't tried. And I like Trader Joe's. I want to hear what you're eating from there. Number 2, this is going in a different direction. The second question I'm going to ask my guests, what is your favorite conspiracy theory? Now, you do not have to believe that it's true, okay? I want to put that caveat. Not everyone is into conspiracy theories. I will tell you, I am. I am a little bit of a cynic, if you couldn't tell. And I'm not going to get political or anything like that, but I do love hearing about conspiracy theories because I just like to know ooh, what do you think really happened? And I will say right now, as I'm recording this, and if you follow me on Instagram, you're seeing this, I am following the Savannah Guthrie story where her mom was abducted in the night from her house. And there's some wild conspiracies going on about that. And I am reading every one. And I'm hoping, I always hope for the best. Everyone's safe, everyone well. But I just am intrigued by when there's a story like that, what is the conspiracy behind it? So that being said, if you're going to come on my podcast, I will be asking you, what's your favorite Trader Joe's snack? And what is your favorite conspiracy theory? And because I'm going to be asking you that, I feel like I should tell you my answers to those questions. Number 1, my favorite Trader Joe's. This is so hard, you guys. I don't know if I actually have a flat answer, like a straight up answer to this. I think chocolate gummy bears are close to the top, but they're so niche, and I also love their peanut butter cups. But if I'm going to go honest, this is this is a boring Trader Joe's snack, if I'm being honest. But my favorite go-to that I have to get every time I go is the little round, I have to go look what they're called. Okay, I just ran to my kitchen to check because I just bought some last night. They are the savory thin mini thin crackers. I don't know. But those with the Mediterranean hummus, and that is my go-to snack from Trader Joe's. It's just, it hits, And there's so many. I feel like I'm betraying so many other snacks by kind of admitting that that's my favorite. But I got to go with that right now. It's kind of bland actually, but it hits. All right, number 2. my favorite conspiracy theory. I feel like I could get in some trouble here, okay? Because I'm in the music industry. I have been for a long time. I know a lot of musicians. I've lived in Nashville, so I've met a ton of people in this industry. And this is not something I even am saying. I do not believe that this is necessarily true, this conspiracy theory, okay? But it's my favorite one to read about and look into because it's fascinating to me. And the conspiracy theory is this, that Garth Brooks is secretly a serial killer. I know, guys, I know that's crazy. If you haven't heard of it, you're like, Jill, I'm turning this off right now. But take a Jill pill real quick, okay? It's just a conspiracy theory that's out there. And if you go read about it, if you just Google it and you look it up, it's just kind of interesting, okay? Everywhere that he has toured, there has been like a missing body, a person. Guys, I know I sound crazy, but you just go look it up. It's fascinating. Now, I love Garth Brooks. Like, I got friends in low places, okay? I think Trisha is one of the greatest singers of all time. And I've met Trisha Yearwood, actually. I haven't met Garth, but I think very highly of them. I do not think he's actually a serial killer, but something is going on, okay? With someone's either in his crew, maybe as a serial, or, oh my gosh, I'm going to get in so much trouble for this, but just look it up. I'm just saying, look it up. It's very interesting. I know you can't believe everything you read on the internet. And it's like, some people think it's just a satire thing. I'm disclaimer, okay? But it's fun. It's interesting, okay? Don't come at me. So I love talking about conspiracy theories just because, like, maybe it's a little bit a step outside of reality of just like life is so freaking messed up. The world is messed up. And I just like to think outside the box sometimes. So if you're still with me here, thank you. And if you have now signed off and said, Jill's crazy, it's been so real, but you're not here anymore. So we can talk about you. No, I'm just kidding. Those are the answers, my answers to the two questions that I will ask everybody that comes on this podcast. So be ready to get your world shaken up a little bit, okay? Because people are going to have weird conspiracies, and they're going to be anything from like Katy Perry is John Benet Ramsey, or like Tupac is still alive. You know, I don't know. They're going to be all over the map, but I love them because it's just fun. Okay. So there's a side of me you might not have seen before. Well, if you're my friend, you've seen it. Anyway, are we doing okay, guys? Are you doing all right? I am doing okay. I'm about halfway into my whiskey drink now, and I feel a little bit looser. Like, I'm a little less nervous, but this is crazy because I had a podcast. It was with my friend Kate, who many of you know. She will definitely everyone has asked me, okay, she will definitely be a guest on here. I don't know when, but yes. But I'm so used to having a podcast with another co-host, you know? So like, I'm just talking to you. So I hope you're doing okay. I'm doing okay. This is one of my problems. I need to make sure everyone's doing okay all the time. But like, I don't know where you are. You could be listening to this in like 10 years, you know, or you could be in the car. You could be, I don't know what you're doing right now. I'm sitting here worried about you. Okay. I really care about you, and I want you to be happy. I want you to like this. I mean, I want you to like me, right? Because everyone wants, but I really just want you to enjoy this. So I told you there would be some overthinking in this podcast, and most of it will be from me. But if you're an overthinker, just join me, won't you? Because it's a lonely place to be, and I need you. Okay. I asked you guys what you wanted to hear about on this podcast, and one thing that came up a couple times was you wanted me to share an embarrassing story. I don't know why. As I just told you that I'm like insecure and overthinker, and now I have to share an embarrassing story. Okay. I'm going to do that. So this is like tying in a few things. One, New England, my love for New England and New England sports. Two, a good drink, because this takes place in a liquor store. Okay. And three, just my socially awkwardness of just who I am as a person. So a couple years ago, I'm in the liquor store. Up here, we have liquor stores everywhere. Live free or die. Like I said, New Hampshire is really kind of known for their liquor stores. So anyway, I go in, I think it's like summertime, and I'm going to make some margaritas. So I have to get all the stuff for that. You know, a good tequila, some triple sec, Nothing really beats a really good margarita. I could go for one right now as opposed to this whiskey. But anyway, I walk in and I see this guy in the back, and he's standing there and he's very handsome. And he's looking at me smiling, like just a big, huge smile on his face. And I was like, hi. Like in my mind, I was like, oh, he's cute. And he's just kind of staring and like, I was like, okay, I'm going to walk that way, you know? Maybe I'll say hi. Maybe he likes margaritas. I don't know. Maybe he knows about tequila. I'm going to walk over there. So I walk back and I'm kind of like feeling good. And I get closer and I realize it is Big Papi from the Red Sox. He is like one of the most famous Red Sox players of all time. Okay. Not only though is it Big Papi, it's a cardboard cutout of Big Papi. And I thought it was just some handsome man smiling at me across the liquor store. And I walked over to him and like as if I had a shot, as if I was going to make a move on I didn't know it was Big Papi. I just thought it was a cute guy in the back. Anyway, you wanted an embarrassing story. I mean, nobody really I don't even know if anyone knows that story other than maybe a few of my friends. Because that's pretty embarrassing. Like I felt pretty good. I was like, he's definitely smiling at me. No, he wasn't. But it was a great photo of him, you know, in the cardboard cutout. And I'm sure he would like a margarita. And I think I could make a good one. And I think he would enjoy my company. I feel like Big Papi, if you're out there and you're a fan of Take a Jill Pill, I'd love you to come on and we could maybe just have a margarita and talk a little baseball. And I could tell you that story. You're welcome for that embarrassing story. And I don't know how many of those I'll be sharing because as I'm doing it, I'm kind of like, I don't know why I'm sharing that with the whole world. Nobody actually ever needed to know that happened to me. You know what I mean? But now you do. And I don't know. I will tell you this. I used to be a really reserved person. I mean, I'm still pretty reserved, but I was an extremely shy kid. I hated like looking people in the eyes. I hated talking to people. I didn't perform music outside of my bedroom until college. Like I loved it. I've been writing since I was 11 years old, or probably younger actually, but playing guitar since I was 11. And I wrote songs. I was like, but I never would do it in front of people. So I was just this really shy person. I didn't talk a lot. And for some reason, my career, my life just kept like bringing me in front of audiences and people and like big stages and stuff. And I'm like, I don't really know how I got here because I would rather stay in my room all day and hide. But it's just kind of where my life has brought me. And then as I've navigated the last few years with like my mom's disease and navigating like some just other weird stuff in my life, I have lost my filter and I've kind of lost a lot of my shyness. Although I would say I'm still pretty shy, but I kind of just think like life is about sharing stuff with each other and like telling stories, having fun, like being honest and vulnerable because like what else is there? It goes by really fast, you guys. Like sometimes I think about that I've been over almost, it's really more like 25 years that I've been doing music. And that's like a whole life, you know, like it goes by so fast. And so I just think part of my mission in like moving forward in my life right now is just not caring as much. So you're probably going to just get a lot more unedited versions of me than you might have known in the past. And I hope that's okay. And if it's not, I guess I don't really care anymore, which is actually very freeing. Because one thing I will tell you, and not that I'm, you know, someone who knows everything by any means. I've been through a lot of life, so I feel like, you know, I have some opinions and I have some perspectives, but no matter what, if you're like 20 or you're 60, 80, 40, whatever age you are, you're bound to run into just some really tough times and hard seasons. Now, I know you're like, this is supposed to be a fun podcast. It is going to be fun, but I got to be real with you too. Like it's not just like rainbows and butterflies. So in that, I feel like you're going to need a few things. These are the things that have helped me anyways, when I've been in tough times, you know, tough times. One, people. You need community and people who support. You don't even need that many. I think people think they need all these friends and all this community. You need like a couple really solid people in your life and solid community. 2, you got to have hope and like believe that change is coming. That's like something else somewhere in you that will keep you going. And then 3, I feel like you need an outlet. I feel like you need something to get all of that stuff out of your body. So some people that's music, some people it's running, some people it's cooking, whatever it is, gaming, I don't know, like whatever it is that you need that outlet. I feel like those 3 things can carry you through some hard times, you know? So that, and then if you mix those 3 all together, you know where I'm going with this. I just thought of it. You mix those 3 things together and it's a Jill pill. No, I'm just kidding. That was dumb. I know it was dumb, but I'm trying this out. Okay. We're working through it. All right. I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm going to get to a couple other listener questions that you guys sent in for this episode. Some are going to take up like a whole episode. Somebody asked me, given your line of work, have you ever had a stalker? I mean, the short answer is yes, a couple. And I don't think I'm interesting enough to have a stalker, but it has happened. And I feel like I want to do a whole episode on stalking and stalkers and like parasocial relationships and stuff like that. So we'll come back to that. But yeah, and some I can talk about and some I can't, to be honest with you. Because there's like low level stalking and then there's scary stalking. And I don't want to go there because I don't know who's listening to this. But I do feel like I have some good stalking stories. So we will definitely come back to that. Moving forward with listener questions, somebody asked, what music is on my radar lately? That's a great question. You know I love music. I've actually been listening to music a lot lately. I go through seasons being a musician where listening to music isn't fun because like when you're working on it so much, it's your job. So like I listen to a lot of podcasts and I just will like drive in silence sometimes. And actually, to be honest, sometimes music honestly makes me feel too much. Like if I'm already emotional or having a tough time, music is so moving that I'm like, I can't afford to have any more feelings right now than I have. So I just tend to not listen to it. However, I'm in a real music loving phase right now. I don't know what it is. I'm obsessed right now with Patrick Droney. He's not new. Like I've known of his music and stuff for a few years, but for some reason I'm really into it right now. He's just like pop soul singer-songwriter. He has the best guitar sounds ever. Like I just am like, it's a little John Mayer-esque, but with maybe more grit or soul or something. I don't know. I love John Mayer. So Patrick Droney, man, he has a song called Glitter that's about grief. It's so good. You got to go listen to it right now. Actually, he gets me all up in my feels. So I guess I'm in a place where I can get up in my feels right now. But yeah, if you want to get up in your feels, Patrick Droney. And then I just listen to a lot of different stuff. I kind of put it on like Spotify radio stations and try to find new music that I like. Of course, I'm excited about the Noah Kahan, The Great Divide new song. I might cover that. I don't know. Everyone's covering it right now. But if you don't follow me on Instagram, I do cover a lot of music on there. And I will be adding some music to this podcast. Like I'll play a song here and there, whether it's an original or a cover. I'm not going to do it this time just because I'm still getting my voice back, but I'll be adding some of that. So I'm hoping to put out some new music in the next year. I know I've said that for a long time. If you follow me, you're like, yeah, I don't believe you, but I really am. It's just easier said than done sometimes. So that's what's on my music radar. All right, let's do one more listener question for this week and keep sending them to me. We'll add more in for the next few weeks, but last listener question of the day, okay? And this is a very important question from Joseph. He says, what is your favorite tote bag you use? I feel like I have 100, but I always stick with one. Joseph, you know what? I don't think that much about tote bags, but now you have me thinking about them, okay? My favorite tote bag. It's not Trader Joe's. I know everyone was expecting that, okay? I know they're famous and you can like sell them for $1 million on eBay. I don't have any Trader Joe's tote bags. I'm sorry to say. But my favorite tote bag is by a company called The Shop Forward. And my friend Mary owns the company. And they make, if you've ever seen like, I have all these sweatshirts and stuff from them, and they have like cute sayings on them, or you can like personalize what you want to say on them. And she has tote bags, and they're called the 4 Things tote bags. And you pick your 4 favorite things. and you put it on the tote bag and they print it and send it to you. And it's a really solid, nice bag. And I've had it for years, like years. And mine says Grammar, the Ocean, Friends, and Dunkin' Donuts, like Friends, the TV show. I think I think those are still pretty true for me. I've had that for a long time, so I might update it. I don't know, but those are great tote bags and you get to personalize it, right? But I kind of am thinking here, do we need Take a Jill Pill tote bags? I don't know, guys. I'm getting ahead of myself, right? But like a nice little Take a Jill Pill reminder in a tote bag. I don't know, Joseph. It's up to you. You tell me. I would make sure they're like good quality because you got to have a good quality tote bag is what I'm saying. I don't know how many times in my life if I've ever said tote bag that many times. But anyway, guys, we did it. We got through episode 1. Almost. We're almost there. I am going to do something every week, which is I'm going to end every episode the same way. I'm going to leave you with some parting words. All right. I'm no like counselor or therapist, but if this is called Take a Jill Pill, I feel like I need to leave you with like, you know, the prescription and the dose for the week so you can go forward and I don't know, just walk away not empty-handed. You know what I mean? So here are my parting words for you today. Here's your daily dose of encouragement from me or whatever you want to call it. But whatever like season you're in right now that kind of sucks, and it maybe doesn't suck totally for you. Like maybe you're in a good season of life and things are kind of smooth, but there's probably something that's rough. I mean, for even if it's just like it's winter here and it's so depressing and cold and like we have so much snow, you know, it might just be even that small, but maybe you're struggling in a relationship or like your job, you're just like hating it right now, or you want to do something else. And whatever it is that it comes to mind for you, because you know there's one thing in your life that just is like, it's just hard right now. I'm just reminding you that that's going to change. Like that has to change. Seasons do change and shift and ebb and flow. And you're not going to feel like that forever. And it's really hard to remember that when you're in the middle of it. So I'm here to remind you of that because like I know what it's like, honestly, to just feel like this sucks and it's never going to end. And I mean, I'm even in some of those seasons myself right now. And so I'm kind of reminding myself, it's not going to last forever. It can't. It has to change. So just remember that, all right? No matter what, it's going to change. All right, guys, I cannot thank you enough for listening to episode 1. Whew, I feel relieved to get through one episode. I think we're just bound to have better conversations every week. So thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe and leave a rating and review on Apple or Spotify or wherever you're listening if you feel so inclined. And I'll be back next week, okay? Episode 2. If you have something that you really want to talk about, shoot me a DM or you can email me too. takeajillpillpod@gmail.com. And I'm working on getting the website and everything else up. So, hey, maybe a little merch, maybe a little tote bag. I don't know. All right, guys, that's it. Thanks so much. I'll see you next week. Be good. Take a Jill Pill. Bye.